Today's topic is going to be a KFA2 Gaming GeForce RTX 2060 Super Gamer graphic card, which does look really interesting. And from all the other graphic cards, this one has aluminum front part that holds the fan. You have a nice backplate, and the PCB is a bit shorter than the whole passive cooler. Now, today we're going to run some benchmarks, test temperatures, what does it have, what does it consist, and all the other details that you need to know, including one-click OC. So let's go! The full size of the graphic card is 272 127 x 41 millimeters, and basically that means that the graphic card is longer, 272, but the thickness is 2 PCI slots, and the weight is not that as usual graphic cards go, but that consists of graphic cards that go above RTX 2070. So the design is very nice, including 3 80mm RGB fans, which unfortunately you can't control, but the light isn't that bright, so you won't get annoyed by it. The top backplate is aluminum part, which has some sort of triangles cutouts, and you have really nice design. Without a doubt, the whole concept of the graphic card really looks nice. Now, the whole passive cooler goes through the front and the back with 4 heat pipes, giving you enough cooling for this kind of card. When we're talking about monitor connectors, you have a DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0B, and DVI-D. Shame it doesn't have one more HDMI or DisplayPort. It would be really cool, but nevertheless, 3 monitors quite alright, and maybe you could use an extender. Now, when we're talking about right after the monitor connectors, there's a 7-phase power unit right near the GPU, and around it you have 8 Samsung GDDR6 memory chips, which means it has 8 GB of GDDR6 memory. When we're talking about power consumption and the connectors needed for the graphic card, you have one 8-pin power supply connector right here, so the maximum power it can pull is 225 watts. It supports GeForce Experience, Ansel, G-Sync, Highlights, VR Boost, DLSS, Ray Tracing, and others, and for the API support, DirectX 12, Vulkan, and OpenGL 4.6. Now, the one thing they're mentioning with this graphic card and basically every other KFA2 gaming graphic cards, you have a one-click OC. Now, the thing is, you need to download the Extreme Tuner Plus application from their website, where you could adjust the overclocking as well as watching the megahertz and everything. Well, you have detailed specifications and consumption, as well as possibility for overclock beyond the one-click OC. Now let's go and check out some tests, benchmarks, temperatures, and FPS in game. So first let's go with synthetic test. 3D Mark Time Spy in normal, so without overclocking. We have GPU score going up to 8301, GPU test 1 is 53.77 FPS, and GPU test 2 is 47.86 FPS. Now, when opening the one-click OC, basically through the Extreme Tuner Plus, GPU score goes up by 200, almost 250. So 8522. GPU test 1 is 55.13 FPS, and GPU test 2 is 49.19 FPS. So basically you get in the synthetic benchmarks, you get 2 to 3 FPS more and 250 points on the score. You can see the comparison to the AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT, RTX 2070, 2060 normal, and the RTX 2080 Super. Let's go with PUBG. So PUBG on low details, 1080p with standard clock speeds. I got 170 FPS average with the 77 Celsius degrees, and PUBG on low details 1080p with one-click OC, you get 15 FPS more in average, so 185 with 79 Celsius degrees. Taking into consideration that this Extreme Tuner Plus helps you overclock your graphic card, and basically that is, I won't say for amateurs, I would say it's for easy usage and for someone that is starting out in the overclocking, trying to get an extra kick from your graphic card. Of course, this one-click OC doesn't give the maximum boost that the graphic card can handle, but basically if you're already experienced in overclocking your graphic card and changing the voltages and putting the clock speeds a bit higher, you could achieve more because there is still space for the graphic card and its power. The average temperature, I would say, is 78 to 79 Celsius degrees with 3 front fan intake going in the case, 2 as an outtake on the top and 1 at the rear. Some sort of airflow that gives enough air circulating through the graphic card. Overall, I would say I'm really satisfied with the card. First of all, it has 3 80mm fans. The noise is going at full speed at around 38 to 40 decibels, and when you're using it normally it goes maximum to 36 decibels, which is quite alright because after all, if you're playing a game like PUBG or Battlefield, you're most likely wearing your headset and you most likely won't even hear it. Overall temperatures are quite alright, 79, and it didn't go, as I said, it's an average temperature, it didn't go above, it did reach nice FPS, and even with the unexperienced users using one-click OC, you do get, for instance, in some games 5 FPS, in some 15, depends on the game, depends on the details, of course, and depends on the resolution. I used 1080p just because most of us are playing, well, I'm playing on 1440p, but most users are still playing on 1080p, and this card, I think it would be just right and suitable for 1080p gaming. But yeah, the KFA2 GeForce RTX 2060 Super Gamer graphic card is actually really an outstanding choice, giving you a possibility to manage overclocking by yourself if you don't want to experiment with voltages, and personally changing the clock speeds and memory speeds and everything. You can do it with Extreme Tuner Plus with one-click OC. Guys, I'll put the links below for the KFA2, as I said, GeForce RTX 2060 Super Gamer graphic card in the link below, so you can check out the price and everything that I might have missed. If you like the video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, subscribe for future content and future videos, benchmarks, mods, and I'll see you in another one. Thanks for watching, bye bye.